Okay, folks, we have a TurboSound TFX-152M-AN. There is a weak spot in this monitor. The cone glue is insufficient. It will make the cone break loose from the speaker. If you don't know what a coaxial is, it's basically a speaker inside of a speaker. So we're going to take it apart. I've already designed a repair for it. First thing you want to do is remove all the screws from the side that has the pole mount. And don't forget about the 2 feet. All you have to do now, I've removed all the screws. Only takes a couple of minutes tops. And now I'm going to go ahead and pull this cover off. There it is. Now what we're going to do is remove the 3 screws, 1, 2, and 3, on the grill of the speaker. Okay, I've got the screws out of the grill. This is really simple. All you have to do is pick the grill up and voila. The grill is out. Now we get to the speaker. Check this out. They used insignificant glue, which is about the equivalent of Devon you can buy at any of your Ace Hardware or Home Depots. It really doesn't have any holding power, especially if you leave your equipment like in a trailer. It's hot outside, that glue will soften. That's the issue. When Behringer bought TurboSound and put them up under Music Tribe, they shortcutted the glue. Besides that, the speaker's awesome. It works great on the Cat 5. It works great on the locals. It will EQ itself if you want it to. There's a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm fixing to mute this, or excuse me, pause it. And then I'm going to take this grill cover plate. This is if somebody puts their foot down on it, it doesn't go into the speaker. So, be right back. Okay, here we've got it. There it is. There's the glue. And there's the glue down inside. I'm going to zoom in on this. It's not an epoxy. It's a resin contact glue. It's very flexible. Now, I'm going to attempt to try to do this after I pull the speaker out and hold a cell phone. So, be right back. Okay, got all the screws out of the speaker. It'll pop right up. There are some cables in here. They're sized and marked to be in the right proper positions. So you can't really put them on backwards because they won't go on properly. So I'm going to take the cables loose. I'm going to get the speaker out, take the cabinet down, put the speaker flat and level on this countertop. Yes, this is a kitchen video. Something to beware of, on these connectors, there's a little tab right there. That keeps it locked on. Remember to push those down. Don't yank these off. All right, here's the technical part. There's the glue down it. Now, when this cone breaks loose, it will have a tendency to chafe the speaker. If your speaker changes tone, do not run that monitor. It will actually eat a hole. Now, if you run your finger across it, you don't feel anything, you should be all right to run the speaker. You can see how the speaker works up and down. Great. We're going to remove that glue. I would advise you to also get a very small vacuum, say a 1-inch hose, because you don't want to get any debris down between this area here. It may cause some irritation to the electronics and to the resonance for the cone. Now on this speaker, there's a tweeter on the bottom. It's held on by 4 screws. Remove it before you start doing anything to this speaker. Okay, the tweeter's been removed. Here's another good piece of information for you. These are the connection points. You'll see they have the red. That means everything will line up right when you put it back together. Okay, we're fixing to start removing that glue that's down here. Now if you'll look, I'm using a little bitty tiny flathead screwdriver. It's that easy. Here's the catch. Do not get in a hurry. Also, be careful of this rim right here. It will actually cut you, but you don't want to damage it either. So take your time, and I actually get down there and I walk my screwdriver, and it takes about 4 minutes to remove all the glue. Okay, I thought I would shoot this part to show you how soft this glue gets. It takes two hands, so I'm gonna get off video. Okay, I got the glue out, but that's just a residue ring that's around here, so it's not gonna be of any importance. And this is just a piece, it looks like it's pot metal, but it's not. I believe it's a big chunk of aluminum. You can kind of see where I scratched it up. It's irrelevant. So I've gotten all that out, and here's what I came up with. This is just soft contact cement. It's not worth anything. Also, check the cone itself. You can see the glue. I'm going to try to do this two-handed. It's going to be really tough. You can see that I'm able to just kind of push it off. That's it right there. It's just cheap glue. And it's contact cement. It's not even actually an epoxy or resin. They may have gone with this being so cheaply because they want to say, oh, we're going to build a recone kit for this. Well, I'm going to tell you what, when I get finished with this, that cone's going to stay where it is. And if it does go out, you can't get a recone kit. You're not going to be able to get that cone back out because I'm using T88 aerospace epoxy. And so it's going to be there forever. Okay, I've got an important note. I have my little micrometer with me. It's on 0. So what I'm going to do is open it up. See if it'll work with me. All right. If you'll measure the depth and it shows us at 22 thousandths. Now, if we go over to the cone placement and the edging on it, we'll open this back up. And if you look at it, it's 19 thousandths. So it doesn't take a ton of glue to make this happen. So that's why we use a 20 cc syringe. Okay, now we've cleaned this up. We have cleaned that up. And now I'm going to mix the glue. What I normally do is use T88 in a very small amount, and I mix it with a pencil. And I kid you not, I mix it with a new pencil, the one that's square, has edges, normal pencil. Okay, we got our pencil, we have our T88, opened up my syringe, and if you'll notice on the syringe, I actually put a piece of Scotch tape because I pour it in at an angle where it all lays down inside the side of this, and then I mix it up. So we're gonna mix them up. Now this is a 1-to-1 ratio, and so I've got everything mixed up inside and a 1-to-1, believe it or not. You can use the side to see your height and your depth and your length on the two parts. Now I'm gonna mix it up. Okay, we got our syringe, and I'm turning it up, letting it run down, and then I'm going to take that off, and then the tip of this syringe will fit down in there just fine. Go very slow. If you build a large amount up in one spot, take a little flathead screwdriver or something very, very small like a toothpick and work it around till it balances out. This stuff will self-level if it's warm, like room temperature, about 70 degrees. Okay, here we go. There it is. So this is going to be really weird doing it holding a cell phone. So I'm just going to place it in a good spot, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, here we go. So I'm not going to pay attention to the camera. I got to pay attention to what I'm doing. All right, I've applied the glue inside. Now what I'm going to do is kind of square it up, make sure it's all leveled. My trusty toothpick. Okay, that looks pretty good. Here is the key. When you put this on here, you have one shot. Don't pull it back out. But it sits right in place. They machined it actually fairly well with this. And I ran a little Scotch-Brite around this to kind of get some of the goo off of it and to give it a little texturing. So let's see what happens. All right, you don't have to twist it or do anything. You just actually look down in the barrel and set it in place. That's it. That's all you have to do. So now we have a cone that is glued. Here's the key point. This must stay level. So I'm going to take it to my area where I keep my stuff and I level it up using Scotch-Brite because it's kind of soft. And I'll be right back with you. Okay, we have it. It's level fairly. Let's check it on the other side. We're fairly level. Here's the key. This stuff takes 24 hours to give a full set, totally dry, and 72. In 24 hours, you're pretty much glued. So here's one, the one we just did. It's going to stay there for 24 hours. Here's one I've already fixed. Check this out. I'm going to pick it up and carry it back into my kitchen where we're doing the kitchen video by hand and by the cone. It's not going to come apart. It's roughly going to have 1,600 pounds worth of holding pressure. That's why I'm saying, if you tear this speaker up to 15, you just go buy the whole unit. There's no reconing. This is a permanent repair, so it's not something, oh yeah, we can get this apart. You're going to break this before you can get that cone off. So I'm going to reinstall this one. It's one that came out of another one that I'm waiting for tweeter. We had a tweeter go out. And those are very rare. So I'm going to reinstall this one, put it back together, test it, and make sure everything works. This is pretty much about as much as you need of this video. So it's just basically reassembly as it came out. Most people can do that. Thank you. This is Sam Slough.